Well, Gabriel Magalhães is one of those players that really left the pitch when Arsenal was playing against Chelsea, limping, and he felt a little bit of pain. But Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to provide us with his injury update. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. Smash the like button, comment, and share. It's the Arsenal News Show, as I promised you the first video I did today, that we're going to return with the Mikel Arteta press conference reaction on certain things that's going ahead to talk about, because we break it into bits because it's always long and there is no way we can react onto that. If I told you to go ahead and we react onto everything, we can really require close to 1 or 2 hours to discuss everything at length. But this time around, you know how we do it. We get a little bit of bits that are really catchy, and then we come up with what the manager is going to have to say. Rokani David is my name, and let's continue subscribing to see that we hit 14,000 subscribers on this channel. Now, no Saliba progress. That's it. It has been confirmed to us by Mikel Arteta, and you're going to get to know whether he is really in contention to play in the game of Newcastle on Sunday. And lastly, he has gone ahead to reveal us how important the win of Chelsea was on Tuesday when they played that team down in London. Now, let's just get this started, right? Because we don't have time to waste. Now, we are having the Arsenal correspondent for the Arsenal for the football under, known as Kaya Kayanak. You know, he has told us that he first told us today, before Arteta came into that, the explanation of why Gabriel kept going down and carrying on, it wasn't a muscular injury, it was an ankle injury. He's looking good, he should be okay for Newcastle, is what I've heard. I think he will be back in training tomorrow or today. That is what Kaya Kayanak came ahead and told us. But the players were given a day off on Wednesday, having played on Tuesday. That means they trained on Thursday and on Friday, and tomorrow they're also going to train. So that is Kaya Kayanak and what he had been told. Now let's go ahead and really see what is Mikel Arteta having to say about Gabriel Magalhães' injury situation, because he's one of those players that he wouldn't like to miss out when we're going to play ahead Newcastle with William Saliba a doubt for that game. He said, Arteta, in his own words, that we will have to see tomorrow how he is, but he could not finish the game against Chelsea. So that was obvious, a big sign for us, and we'll have to see how he is tomorrow. So Arteta is not giving green light to the return of Gabriel Magalhães, but the correspondent is telling us that it was not a serious injury. They took him off because of precaution, and it might be something easy to rectify, such that he returns for the game of Newcastle. Remember, Arsenal is playing Newcastle over the weekend, and if they're not having the Big Gabby, it will be one of the worst stories that you would ever want to hear at Arsenal. Big Gabby is really improving season after season, and what shows you that his improvement has been appreciated by Arsenal, they went ahead to offer him a new contract that will keep him at Arsenal until 2027 with an option of 1 year, because there is no way a team is going to go ahead and really ready a new contract when you've not gone ahead to show huge improvement ever since he came in from Lille in the summer of 2020. That is Gabriel Magalhães. So Gabriel Magalhães is one of those players that might miss out the game of Newcastle, or he might be part of the team. But when you look at Kaya Kayanak, he's really one of the correspondents of Arsenal, and I think he's getting it from either the agent of Gabriel Magalhães or maybe the entourage of Gabriel Magalhães, and telling him that the player is going to be available for the game of Newcastle. It was not a huge injury, and I think if I told you are Gabriel Magalhães, you know how important this game is, and you can risk yourself to play against Newcastle and let Jakub Kiwior and Rob Holding play against Brighton and other teams. But away at Newcastle, he wouldn't love to see Jakub Kiwior playing with Rob Holding to that central defense. He would love to see Gabriel Magalhães coming in through and obviously taking the mantle to act as the leader into that defense, because he has shown us that he has put out a very good performance every time he has gone ahead to play. Apart from that game of Tottenham Hotspur that Arsenal won 3-1, when really gave our penalty, then the other game was against Man City at Emirates, when he gifted Haaland, and Haaland went ahead to really score the second goal that saw Arsenal lose that game by 3-1. So to me, it comes to my understanding that the Big Gabby is going to be available. That's it. Big Gabby is going to be available and around, according to me, because if he was totally out, we would have gone ahead to see some things, sources confirming, like how David Austin confirmed to us against Saliba that even his season might be ruled out forever. But Big Gabi might show up against Newcastle, and let's wait and see what the traveling squad for Arsenal to Newcastle is really going to be, because it will be out, I think, tomorrow. After training, they'll go back to the hotel, shower, and then travel to Newcastle, and then we'll be knowing who has traveled and who has not traveled, and that is all about Big Gabi. So to me, I think Arsenal has to go with Big Gabi, that is Gabriel Magalhães, to Newcastle to find themselves in a position of really playing either with Jakub Kiwior or Rob Holding. Now, Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to reveal to us what the situation of William Saliba is. The first question about William Saliba posed to him was, any progress on William Saliba's injury? Said, not a lot of progress. He's feeling better every single day, but he's still not been able to have any activity around the first team. So we don't expect him to be with us. Then, on whether he's out of the season, Arteta said, we are not yet there today because we are always hopeful and players are always pushing to play. But if that is the case, then we will announce that. Hopefully, that will not be the case. So, first and foremost, Arteta is confirming to us that William Saliba is out of the game of Arsenal and Newcastle. That's it. They don't want to lie to you that William Saliba is going to be part of the squad that is traveling to Newcastle, because he is nowhere near the first team in any activities of his return. So that confirms to us that he's really out. But Arteta has gone ahead to refute stories that, as per now, William Saliba is part of William Saliba's season has not yet come to an end. That's it. But if at all it comes to an end, that will be announced. And remember, that story was put out by David Austin that his season might be over. And I know how tricky the back is. And for a player like William Saliba, looks like he's not yet strong to go and really play with injuries, because I've seen players like Marcus Rashford play with their injuries. But I think because of his activity as a defender, who has to jump almost every time a cross is brought in and going in for nasty tackles in the first third of the pitch, I think that really puts William Saliba into a position of not really making it into such returns. But I think, as I have told you before, I would have gone ahead to give him a painkiller to play against Liverpool, to play against Man City and Newcastle, if at all I were the physio team of Arsenal. They would have gone ahead to find a way of playing Saliba in those 3 games, because they've gone ahead to miss him out a lot. But the fact is, he's out of the Newcastle game. Little progress, positivities are really throwing in, day out, but he is nowhere near the first team. That's it. So he is out, and I understand what that means, but we are not having William Saliba. But obviously, Arsenal can thrive on without him, though it's always a big gap for them to thrive with even Tomiyasu, who would have gone ahead to play as a right back, then switch Ben White as the central defender is away. Because if at all Tomiyasu was around, he would have gone ahead to play as the right back, then Ben White would have gone ahead to pair or to partner with Gabriel Magalhães into the central defense. Though Arteta again was asked about on what he needs to be done to solve William Saliba's back issue. He said it's about the healing process, pain-wise and with things that he can do now off the pitch. I think he's in a good place, but we have to build his capacity again to have the right impact, the right load, and be in good condition to train and play for the team. So Mikel Arteta looks like for him is okay with not having William Saliba. Do you know why? They've gone ahead to achieve their targets as the board of Arsenal. The board of Arsenal had a target of qualifying for the Champions League, and they qualified for the Champions League. Now, for them, they're 100% okay with what is happening at the side of Arsenal. So, I think that's why they're not even fidgeting to get in these injured players back early enough to see to it that they find themselves in a position of not failing to win the league. That's the position in which the team of Arsenal have found themselves into, because they are now contented. I believe they are now preparing for next season, and that's what Mikel Arteta is all about. Arteta is 100% preparing for next season, because even when Jesus was injured, he was not in a hurry, because he knew that he was going to clinch the points that were going to take him to the Champions League. Amidst the pressure of the title coming in through and them accepting that the title is not yet done, they have always gone ahead to go on their plan. Their plan is to qualify for the Champions League, and obviously Mikel Arteta is so much positive about that, and he knows his team can go ahead and really do that. So, as he talked a little bit of Newcastle, he had to refer to how important the Chelsea win was, and this is what he had to say. We showed a great response in the week, but the most important thing was to put it out on the pitch, and we did it. Right from the beginning, we showed real determination and desire to win the game and put in a big performance. It was a big game for us. It was a London derby, and we earned the right to win the game. Right, he has the right to brag, because a London derby is always a London derby, and if at all you know how hard that derby has always been for teams, you ask those teams that have gone ahead to go ahead and really play it. But this season, Arsenal has bossed all the London derbies, and I think they've only gone ahead to draw with West Ham only. Not so, but they've gone ahead to win most of the teams home and away. Chelsea, they beat them 1-0 at Stamford Bridge, and they came here at the Emirates. They beat them 3-1. They beat Spurs 3-1 at Emirates, 2-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They went ahead to beat Fulham on both occasions, 2-1 at Emirates, 3-0 at Craven Cottage. Crystal Palace 4-1 at Emirates, 2-0 at Selhurst Park. It was the opener of this season. So they've gone ahead to win almost every London derby, and Arsenal are really bossing in London, the new bosses in London. And I think it's really important. They earned the right to talk about the trophy again. And trust me, if Arsenal failed to go ahead and really win that game, they would have gone ahead not to even talk about the trophy. So guys, your thoughts on to Gabriel Magalhães injury update are welcome into the comment section below, all delivered to you by Mikel Arteta. Then I want you to let me know about Gabriel Magalhães, then no William Saliba progress, but his end of the season has not yet been ruled out by Arsenal. That's it. So we are waiting to see what updates are going to come in from William Saliba. And lastly, what do you think about the Chelsea win, as the manager of Arsenal is going to let us know that they showed great response in the week, but the most important thing was to put it out on the pitch, and they did it right. So that's what I had for you. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Don't do what you wouldn't do. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I'm out. To my Muslim friends, Juma Kareem, as it's a Friday, and may Allah reward you accordingly. I'm out.